Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva with Bhagavad Gita reciting 24. Tim apan navayah paramama vyaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, who do not know me perfect. The Supreme Personality of God now assumed this. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. So this is a very, very nice verse. One of from number 7, where excuse me, is talking about his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in these few verses, especially till towards the end, explain what is perfect knowledge. You see, not that which we think is perfect, but according to him, the Supreme Lord. His supremacy can be understood from this verse as well. Now we've heard from Lord Brahma, who says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. Another Parama Ishvara, that you have a transcendental body, right? Satchidananda Vigraha, Sat Chit Anand, that is how your body is. It's transcendental. So from scriptures, we come to know that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So here Krishna is saying, if someone thinks that I am an ordinary person or I don't have a form, I am impersonal, then such people are considered to be unintelligent. He makes it very clear. Why? Because they don't have proper knowledge. They don't have perfect knowledge. So if one does not understand the higher nature of Krishna, then Krishna says they are of small knowledge. That means they don't have sufficient knowledge. So Krishna is again and again, right from chapter 2 onwards, he is stressing on the point of his position, his supreme position, which is of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, Prabhupada says in the purport that Krishna was present before Arjuna. Arjuna could see Krishna. Now, if Arjuna can see Krishna, that means Krishna has a form, right? You cannot see something that has no form, right? Something that is void. We cannot. Only when there is a form, then we can say, oh, yes, this is a man, this is a woman, this is a child, this is an animal. There is a form, right? So if Arjuna could see Krishna, that means Krishna has a form. Krishna is not some light, or he's not just Brahma Jyoti or effulgence. No, he is a personality. That means he is a person. Now you must have heard, excuse me, a very popular saying, man is made in the image of God. That means God has a form, because we have a form. If we are made in his image, that means he also has a form. If we have a form, why can't God have a form too, right? But there are certain people who do not believe in personality. They believe God has no form at all, and they are called impersonalists. In the disciplic succession, the parampara system, There is even Vyasadeva and Narad Muni, who are great personalities. They have talked, they have, recited prayers glorifying Krishna's beautiful form, the three-band beautiful form. These are all great personalities, and all this reference is there in the Vedas. So it is not just hear and say, no, this is authoritative information from the Vedas and coming down in strict disciplic succession called the parampara. So scriptures talk about Krishna's form and also about his pastimes, all that he did when he appeared here on this earthly planet about 5,000 years ago. How can he perform pastimes if he didn't have a form, right? If there is no form, how could he, engage or interact with his devotees? That was not possible. So he has the form. Now, how to understand that? Prabhupada explains that we cannot understand Krishna or his activities without the mercy of Guru and Krishna. It is only the Guru who comes in the disciplic succession in Parampara. He can explain, he can guide us, and he can, with the help of knowledge, help us to understand Krishna. So we need mercy of Guru and Krishna. Like it is said, Brahmanda Brahmite, Kona Bhagavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Lata Bij. So it's only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna that one gets the seed of devotion. That's when we can actually try to understand Krishna. And the mercy will come when Krishna will see, the Guru will see that we are surrendering, right? We are ready to take on knowledge. We are ready to perform bhakti yoga, devotional service. And we are ready to do mantra meditation, which is chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now we cannot understand the Supreme Lord with mental speculation. I think, in my opinion, according to me, no speculation at all. And also, one cannot understand Krishna if one has a personal agenda, you know, wants to, has some ulterior motive, then also it's not possible to understand the Lord. See, we human beings have imperfections. We have four defects. We make mistakes. We are in illusion. We have imperfect senses. And what else? Illusion, imperfect senses. We make mistakes. And we have tendency to cheat. These are the four defects that we have. So if we are not perfect, how can we give perfect knowledge? That's not possible. How can we decide what is perfect knowledge and what is not perfect knowledge? Perfect knowledge comes only from perfect source, which is the Supreme Lord Krishna. See, many people think Krishna is a great personality. They think he's a very powerful living entity. No, Avajananti Mamudha. Krishna says, fools people deride me when I come in human form. I come in human form so that human beings can understand him. Excuse me. So it's only those who are intelligent. They will take this knowledge, try and understand, and try to contemplate on this knowledge, practice, put it into practice, and then be able to understand Krishna. Excuse me. Now, the very first step of understanding this perfect knowledge is devotional service, which starts with mantra meditation, chanting, hearing, associating with devotees. This is how we can progress on this spiritual path. Now, in the very next verse, number 25, Krishna says that he decides on whom he's going to bestow his mercy. He says those who are foolish and those who are unintelligent, they are covered up by Maya, they are covered up by illusion. So they cannot understand Krishna. Excuse me, I'm still recovering. So they cannot understand Krishna because they are not interested, they don't have a desire, and they don't want to put in that effort that is needed to understand perfect knowledge. Now, even though Krishna was present on this earthly planet 5,000 years ago, very few people knew that he is the Supreme Lord. Everyone else was thinking, oh, he's just some great person. Maybe he's a great king. Maybe he's this or that. No, it's only the Pandavas. Excuse me. Only the Pandavas and also like Bhishma, they are the ones who knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Not everybody. Everybody. Queen Kunti, the mother of the Pandavas, she knew that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And she also mentions in her prayers that Krishna is covered up by Yoga Maya. And that's why not everybody can understand him. But if we try to understand Krishna through bhakti yoga, through devotional service, by taking on this knowledge, trying to understand, then Prabhupada says that is the highest religious principle. See? So for us to be able to understand, we definitely need guidance from a bona fide spiritual teacher. See, Krishna's form is actually covered up by Brahma Jyoti, that effulgence. And only those who are intelligent will be able to see. They will be able to understand who Krishna really is. Krishna is unborn. He's inexhaustible. He has unlimited pastimes. But how do we understand that? All this is perfect knowledge, which is given in the Bhagavad Gita. How do we understand? We need guidance from a bona fide teacher. Just like I want to become a doctor, I cannot just read books at home and become a doctor. I have to approach a bona fide teacher who has the knowledge, who has the experience, and who can explain to us how to become a doctor. Similarly, if we want to understand Krishna, then we need to associate with devotees. We need to hear from them. We need to hear from a teacher. And then whatever guidance we get, we need to put that into practice. Now, in the last verse that I'm taking today is number 26. There, Krishna is again asserting his position as Supreme Personality of Godhead. What does he tell Arjuna? He says that I know everything, past, present, and future. Krishna says that. I know everything. And he says, I know everyone, but no one knows me. Only pure devotees can know Krishna. And how do we become pure devotees? We need to purify ourselves, purify our senses, purify our mind, purify our body, purify our heart, purify our intelligence. Then and then only we will be able to really understand Krishna. Or you can say, know him. You see? So this verse number 26 of the 7th chapter, it proves that Krishna has a form which is spiritual. If he had a material form, then he would not be able to say, oh, I remember past, present, and future. He would not, because then his body also would change. He would forget, like we forget. We have material body, so we forget. You see? On the battlefield, Krishna was 125 years old when that huge Mahabharat war took place. He was 125 years old. But when we see the picture of Krishna, do we see an old man with a white beard? No. We see him like a beautiful 18-year-old. That's his transcendental body. So from that also we come to know that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and what he says, he knows past, present, and future, holds correct. Only the Supreme Lord can know. Do we remember our past? No. Actually, we don't even remember what we did at this time, probably 2 weeks ago or a month ago. I don't even remember what I did yesterday at this time. Probably I do because I'm in Vrindavan. So I was listening to Kirtan. I was in the temple. I was having darshan of the deities and offering a ghee lamp to the Lord. But if I was at home, in Atlanta, I probably may not remember what I did 2 3 days ago at that same time. We don't remember our past. We don't even remember what we did in the recent past. So what to talk about years ago or in the previous life or many previous lifetimes? We don't know, nor can we foretell the future. Why? Because we have this material body. It's only when we have spiritual body that we can know past, present, and future. That too also by the mercy of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna has a spiritual body. He is the Supreme Lord and he can remember past, present, and future. And in a way, Prabhupada says it's good we don't remember our past. Imagine if we could, of course, most of us have forgotten most of the, unpleasant things that have happened in our lives, right? The many people who have insulted us or abused us or, talked ill of us or did wrong to us or whatever it may be, whatever situation. So many things have happened in the past which were unpleasant. Excuse me. And most of us have probably forgotten most of it, right? What if we remembered it every day? What if we were reminded of it every day? What, especially those of us who are mothers, what if we were reminded, especially the mothers were reminded of, the labor pain of childbirth, that pain every day? That would be absolutely miserable, right? It's a good thing that the Supreme Lord remembers past, present, and future, but we do not remember our past. In a way, it's actually a blessing to not remember the past. And Krishna, if you remember in chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Imam vivasvate yogam puktavan aham avyayam. He said, I spoke this spiritual science. He's talking about Bhagavad Gita. He spoke the Bhagavad Gita, he says, calls it spiritual science to sun god Vivaswan. Imam vivasvate yogam. Yogam is spiritual science. It's not a religious book. So Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to sun god Vivaswan 120 million years ago, and he still remembered it. Do we remember anything what we learned last week in our class? No, we don't. We've forgotten. That's because we have a material body. We have material intelligence. We have material senses. But Krishna, how does he, remember? Because he's the Supreme Lord. And how does he know all living entities? That's what Krishna says in verse 26. How does he know all living entities? Because he is situated in everyone's heart as the super soul Paramatma. What is the purpose of Paramatma? Krishna will tell us, we'll learn in chapter 15. Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivishtu. He says, I'm situated in everyone's heart, in the heart of all living entities, not just human beings, all different species of lives, all the living entities present, he is situated in their hearts. Why? Because he's there to guide us, to witness our activities, to sanction our desires, you see. So that is the purpose of him being in our heart. And he is the only one who can give us perfect knowledge. That is, if we have the desire to have perfect knowledge. See, the desire needs to be there to for Krishna to sanction that desire. You see, that is very, very important. Krishna can only sanction after we desire. I remember one story I had heard, that there was this man who went to the temple every day and he prayed and he prayed and he prayed to Lord Krishna that, please, I want to win a lottery ticket, right? I want to win a lottery. I am really very, very much in distress and I need money. So please, please, please help me to win the lottery. So he would come every day praying the same prayer every day. One day, this is just a story, a funny one. One day, Krishna came and gave him a tight slap on his cheeks. He said, how can I sanction and give you a lottery if you haven't even bought the ticket? You need to first buy the lottery ticket for me to help you to win the lottery. You see, we have to have the desire. We are the ones who have to take that first step. What does he say? Mataha smritir jnanam apohanam cha. From me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So he's giving us choices. He's there in our heart. He's giving us choices, and based on our choice. Now, supposing I decide I want to forget Krishna, he's going to give me that benediction. He will help me forget him. But if I want to remember him, he will help me remember him also. So he is there. He is there to give us perfect knowledge, provided we want that perfect knowledge. How can he give perfect knowledge? Because he's perfect. He is the Supreme Lord. You see? So if we want perfect knowledge, we need to go to the perfect source, which is Supreme Lord Krishna. And once we start learning the Bhagavad Gita, which is perfect knowledge, which Krishna is explaining in 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters. We are now in 7th chapter. So he is guiding us. He is giving us knowledge, helping us understand who we are, where have we come from? Why are we suffering in this material world? How to break the cycle of suffering? Where to go after this life, to go back to the spiritual world in a spiritual body. All that is possible with the help of this perfect knowledge from Bhagavad Gita. And the first step is Bhakti Yoga. We perform Bhakti Yoga, which means we start chanting. We do mantra meditation on a daily basis. Chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When we perform this devotional service, when we chant, then the sound vibrations from our ears will go into the heart, start purifying our heart, and then and only then we will be able to understand this perfect knowledge. So I'm going to only do till verse number 26 today, and we will continue. We'll actually complete the chapter next week. Next Sunday, we'll complete the chapter. So I'll stop here at verse number 26. And I see that we have Ravi and Sarita joining us for the first time. Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita class. And for your information, I can post some links if you are interested. You can join us. And so I'm going to end now. If anyone has any questions or comments, please let me